how to become more professional in the way that you speak, in the way that you present, when you start a new job?
Communication is really important because we are communicating across so many different devices and methods. Your words matter, whether it's a group meeting, one-on-one on a phone, Zoom meetings, and other virtual types of meetings. The most important thing when it comes to communication is listening, because if you listen and really pay attention to the person who's speaking to you, they will give you clues what to say and how to say it in a way that will resonate with them. The whole purpose of communication is to deliver a message so that it's received. You want to say something in a way that prompts other people to do something, buy your product, or hire you. Positive words cause more action, and the negative words cause more reaction. So if our intention is to deliver a message that is received and helps us get what we're after, then positive wording is more effective. Please and thank you, those matter a lot. And so please can be when you're saying a request, and it also can be when you want to be a little more directive. Thank you inspires patience. Thank you for your patience as I seek to understand. Thank you for listening. You could be new in an organization and you don't know all of their terms, so you need to ask them to repeat.
When you lead a conversation with generosity and kindness, it's going to get you a lot further than if you're trying to kind of muscle your way through or really focusing on your point and your side and your message instead of thinking, what is this other person thinking? What is their
In every conversation, when there's two people talking or in a meeting, somebody sets the tone for that. Listen for who they are, pay attention to them. You're not trying to sell them something. You're helping to make their life easier, more convenient. You're doing that for them and trying to get them to buy something from you.
It's not about you. And it's not actually about you pushing your product or your service on that person, but it's about them and really understanding what are their needs, what's the pain that you are trying to take away, what is their difficulty, and how can you help them?
If you don't know the answer to something, don't use words that cover for that. Just say, let me find out, instead of, no, I've never done that before. I've never heard of that. You could say those things if you're new in the organization or something, but then say, I will find out for you by tomorrow at noon, or let me find that out. Emotions are revealed in our voices. So you want to make sure you're aware of what your emotions are. If you really are doing fantastic today, this was your greatest day ever, you could say, I'm doing great. And then when you say it like that, use your energy. I'm doing great. But what if I say, I'm doing great? See, it's the same words. It's the voice that makes the difference. Your delivery depends on your voice, and that affects how people will hear you. When there's miscommunication between people, it's usually because of the voice and the delivery, not necessarily the words. When you're trying to come across as confident, make sure that you're saying your statements like they are statements, not questions. If you're asking a question, of course you raise your tone at the end of a sentence. Don't be too concerned if you use words incorrectly or a little bit out of order. Don't let that affect your confidence. When you're smart, you have something to say it with confidence and say it loud enough. When somebody in your meeting asks a question, if you know the answer, you have a question about it or something to say, go ahead and do that. If you are often asked to repeat yourself, it's often the pace or volume that's a problem, not the words. So these three phases are assertive, non-assertive, and aggressive. So assertive is generally the best way to go on a regular basis. Non-assertive is when you don't speak up at all ever. And the problem with that is that people end up getting taken advantage of. And then people that are aggressive that use harsh language. So being aggressive does not inspire people to listen well or want to receive your message and do what you're asking. The whole intention is to get to the solution that you want, not to diminish another person or make somebody else feel bad. But you can say no and speak up for yourself by saying what you can do, speaking up in a way that's respectful, that's specific, that also sets your boundaries. If you do need to confront somebody, do it privately. It's not really respectful to confront someone in front of other people. And do speak up when you need help. So when you need help to learn something, ask for assistance. So if somebody says, yeah, that project you did really was not great, that's not a really great sentence to say, but let's hear out, say, oh, why not? What would have been better? So ask for the specifics. How else could it have been improved? What else could I do next time? And then receive them, even if they're not delivered so well. Receive the feedback and contemplate it and decide how to change going forward. And without being defensive or over explaining, the whole point of feedback is just for you to receive. Thank the person that offered the feedback. If that's appropriate, say thank you, because they probably are nervous delivering it because people are so bad at it and managers avoid it. Be gracious and accept it and say thank you for that. And then use their feedback, alter what you're going to alter, and send them an email or a note or follow up later to let them know that you used what they suggested and here's how it turned out. That will inspire more feedback, and that's how you get a mentor. My first tip would be get yourself together first. Don't do that at the height of emotion. So if it's a conflict with somebody or confrontation, make sure you are centered and think about the good of the other person. And that can be hard to think of. It might take a few minutes, so don't rush it. And understand what your purpose is in the conversation. Show what's in it for them. If I say, all year I've done this, and this, that might get a bonus as a reward for that. Raises are about the future. Your pay is about what you're going to do next. So you can say, I've shown that I can manage this, I can do these reports, I can handle this client, and I really want to own those responsibilities going forward. And to do that, I should be paid X amount of money. So I'd really appreciate if we could get closer to go up from where I am now. What can we do to make that happen? Inspire them to want to give you more money. Be very gracious. It's an honor that they would extend an offer to you, even if it's something you're thinking it's way below where you are or something you don't even know anything about. Say thank you and be specific about what you appreciate. I appreciate your kind invitation to join your organization. I love the work you're doing. It's not a fit for me right now. I look forward to keeping in touch because you know what? It might be a fit in the future, or one of your friends might want to work there.